Alrighty, so there have been a few questions that have come up concerning what we can and cannot use on our junk trash journal pages. And they're all very quite legitimate. And so I wanted to address a few of them because I'm sure you all have the same basic questions. One question was asked concerning using magazines. I prefer that we don't cut out of magazines because I'm afraid they would just become giant collage pages. So, if at all possible, stay away from magazines. But today, we buy our dog food and then we put them in separate containers. And I was getting ready to throw away the bag of the dog food when I realized, look at all this yumminess that I was getting ready to throw away. We use Victor dog food. And so, look at all this neat stuff. Stripes I could get out. A lot of letters that I was able to cut out. Now, this obviously was going to be trash. So, I would not see anything wrong if there was legitimate things you were throwing out and you decided, hey, there's some stuff on there I can cut out and I can glue to my pages. So that's one example. Now behind this on the dog food bag is this paper, and then on the other side of that is a sheet of plastic paper. So I have all this paper too that could be used on the page. Another question was, let me think. Oh, yes, to use gelatos and different types of paints like that. A basic question you can ask yourself is, do you have to go to a craft store or an art store to buy that particular supply? And if your answer is yes, then we wouldn't want to use it because obviously it isn't something you'd find in the trash. And it wouldn't be something that would just be laying around. As an example, if you were to go to someone's junk drawer that, everyone has a little junk drawer where they keep all of their stuff. And if they were not into any kind of arts and crafts at all, basically there would be a pair of scissors, you would have maybe Scotch tape, you might have a marker, basic things like that that aren't considered necessarily artsy crafty stuff. It's just general stuff that you have in the home. Now what I did find was that when I tried to glue down some things that maybe was kind of shiny like this, it was kind of hard, kind of resistant. So I thought, we might have to tape down a few things. Again, you don't have to go to Michael's or Joann's to get Scotch tape. Everybody's got a little bit of Scotch tape in their little junk drawer. So I'm anticipating you guys might run across that situation where you're not able to glue something down. I think that using tape or even stapling something together would still fall under the category of not the artsy crafty stuff, but junk stuff. So tape, staple, rubber bands, things like that that are kind of outside the natural scope of what you would use on your other art projects. Let's see. Another question. It'll come to me. But what I did come to find out was that oh, yeah, I already mentioned that. The gluing part. That's one thing that I really did notice, that we would have to make adjustments where we might have to use tape or even staple things down. I made, it's not finished, but I started one just so I could get a feel for what kinds of issues we'd come up with. Now, this is what I have so far. This was the those pieces of cardboard that I showed you from the box that the macaroni comes in, and it had a little window on there. So what I did with this is I just put some white paint over it. I had a bag of the cover to the tea. I cut that in half and I put that there. I had some wrappers for some candy, so I put that on there. And then I had, where'd that go? Some of these, and I cut out a piece of it and put it back there behind that window. Also, like I told you, I don't throw anything away. I used this tape on here that I put, is a tape that comes on my bananas. There's this dull tape that they wrap them in a bunch, and I save that too, and so I put that to keep together the two separate pieces of cardboard there. And back here I had just done also the white paint, and I have, oh, this is a sticker that comes on my tomatoes. I saved that too. It would have been trash, so I put that on there. And this morning I had a mango and it had a little sticker, so I put that on there. Just to give you an idea of kinds of things that would normally be your trash, but they can be used to be quite decorative. Then inside, what I did, I took the little ends of the tea bags and glued that on to one half of an envelope. And this is my Birds and Blooms envelope. And that box that I was using had that little flap that would be on the top that would open and close when you have the box together. So I left that flap there, and that's what I glued these to. Then my husband had decided the other day that he wanted to have some champagne, and I had this. So normally, obviously, this would be thrown away. So I put a little bit of black paint on this and rolled it on there, and hello, I have a trash stamp. Isn't that exciting? So I used that, and then I didn't realize there was some writing on here, so I put some paint on there, and I have my little stamp. And again, here I put my banana tape. So this is the beginning. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do in here, but for those of you that might be getting stuck for ideas or some inspiration, I just thought I'd show you what I've done so far. There's 101 ways to do this, but this just gives you kind of an idea of maybe if you just want to start with some box that you have and have the cardboard and put this together like this, and then go from there. So, oh, I also found this. I put my salt in other containers when they get home, and I had this as the lid to the salt, and I just clipped this so that I could lay it flat, and thought that was kind of interesting. Not sure if I'll use it or how I'll use it, but that was something else that looked kind of interesting. And then the other top part to the champagne, don't know what I would do with it, but there's possibilities there too. Oh, and then I got the sides of one of the boxes that I had, and right now I just put some paint on there. I'm not sure what the finished product would look like, but what I did is that morning we had eggs. What would you do with your shells? You throw your shells away, trash. So I saved the shells, and I glued them on here. And after I glued it on, I put a little bit of something, Mod Podge, I think I put on there. This here is from the plastic bag that my oranges come in. No, this is my onions came in this. And so I just shredded some pieces off and did that. I have some also that my oranges came in, but that is a orange color. This was This was my onion one, and it just happened that it's purple. So, look at your stuff. Everybody has junk. I know a few people have said, oh, I don't keep any junk. Trust me, it's everywhere. You just have to change the way you look at things, and all of a sudden they become something that you can use. And I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun, you know, looking for all this stuff and see how to use it. If you guys come up with any ideas that you think, you know, maybe we won't come up with, feel free to put it on the post, and so that other people, the more ideas we put in there, then the more we'll have the will enable us to look at things from a different angle with everybody's help together, and I think this can be a lot of fun. Anyway, I think that's it. I think I've addressed most of the questions, and feel free to ask any other ones. I'm not doing this so you'll stop asking questions. I just figured I'd address them all at once. And so basically, when you see something, if you had to buy it specifically for crafting, you probably shouldn't use it. It needs to be something that you were going to throw. Oh yeah, I know the other question. Someone had asked me, because they've been having a lot of ephemera swaps, if you could use any of that. And so I told them, well, if the stuff that they traded with you, swapped with you, was obviously, you know, junk, you don't want to offend anybody, but they know if it was stuff that was going to be thrown away, you know, but they thought it was unique and they passed it on, feel free to use that, but only, again, if it's something that you know was going to be tossed out. So I guess that's it. And ask any questions that you want, or share any of your ideas with the rest in the group. That's how we're all going to have fun together. Alrighty, that's it for now. Thanks.